What's up, people of YouTube? This is Tru Warlord here, bringing you guys another video to the channel, and today we are going to be doing something extremely different that I don't think I've ever done on my YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing a tier list for my favorite fast food restaurants, or I guess not necessarily my favorite, but all the fast food restaurants I've ate at. So I did create this list myself, found the images, uploaded them to this, and that's what we're going to be testing. So I did make sure that I only got restaurants that I actually have had and not restaurants that I've never had before. So as you can see, we have like KFC and Taco John's and Pizza Hut, Chipotle, Arby's, Buffalo Wild Wings, the following, your typical stuff, Burger King, McDonald's, all of that's in here, all of it's being covered. I might have forgot something. If I did, let me know down in the comment section below. But we're going to hop into this and we are going to list all of the fast food restaurants that I've personally ate at and my own personal opinion on each one of them. Now, I am fat, and I have quite a bit of experience with a few of these restaurants that I'll dive into a little bit when I get to them. So feel free to judge me, but I want to know your guys' opinions of the list as we rank this, and this is probably going to be a bit of a longer video, but that's okay. I'm here for the long haul. So let's go ahead and let's start off with the first one, and that is KFC. So KFC there was a period of time where I loved it. When I was a kid, I loved KFC. And then there was a period of time where I hated KFC. So for like, I don't know, probably like 5-6 years, I didn't like KFC at all. But recently, KFC has had a resurgence to me personally. I like their mashed potatoes, I love their coleslaw, and I love pretty much all of their chicken. So I have to say, it's probably not amazing to me. It's not my favorite food out there, but I'd say KFC is pretty good. I would take KFC most of the time. Now, if you would have caught me about 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have wanted it at all. But now, I really do like KFC. Next one here is Panda Express. And honestly, I've only had Panda Express a few times, and I have a very strong passion and high standards for Chinese food or American Chinese food. And if we're being completely honest, Panda Express is good. It's okay. But honestly, it's just kind of meh in comparison to what I've had from other Chinese restaurants. You know, it's not gross. It's not like it's bad food, but it could be better, and it's definitely not amazing. So I feel like the meh category is a pretty good place to put it. Next up here, we have Sonic. It's kind of hard to see because the image is cut off, but Sonic is a drive-in restaurant. I know that Sonic isn't everywhere. So Sonic is a drive-in restaurant that's got fantastic shakes. They've got amazing desserts. They've got really good burgers. They have really good chicken. They have chili cheese dogs. It is an American thing. It is about as American gets. And while I don't really care for their hot dogs very much, I absolutely love their shakes. I like their ice cream. They have, how did I forget this? They have pretty much every drink you could possibly imagine ever, and their burgers are really good, and they are on the pricier side of things, but I think that this deserves the first amazing slot because they cover a lot of bases. They have great chicken, they have amazing drinks, amazing ice cream, and amazing burgers. That pretty much covers most of the food that I like, so it definitely deserves to be in the amazing category. Next one we have here is Wendy's. So until I moved to West Virginia, I had only had Wendy's maybe 3 times in my entire life. So not a lot of experience with Wendy's until I got here. But since I've been here, I have ate a lot of Wendy's, and I really do like Wendy's. I think that it's really good. I like the way that their beef is. It's just, it tastes very real and authentic. And I have to say that I feel like Wendy's deserves to be in the good category for that alone. And I feel like they have a pretty good variety of things, and I like their drinks, but it's not amazing to me, but it is good. It's one of the better fast food burger restaurants. Next up here, we have Papa John's Pizza. And honestly, I don't have a whole lot to say about Papa John's. I've only ordered one thing from Papa John's that I really liked, and that is their Italian Trio Pizza. I order a lot of pizza living in this apartment, so that is the only thing that I have for Papa John's, and I just don't think that it makes its way up into any of these 3 categories. I feel like it very much so belongs in the not very good category. I don't really like the way that a lot of their meat is. It just seems super processed and fake. Not a huge fan of that. I do like your Italian Trio though. I'm going to continue to order that. but you just didn't make the rest of the list, and I'm kind of sorry about it. Next up here, we have Dairy Queen, and this one's going to be tough to me because Dairy Queen has really, really good ice cream, and they have some really good food items. Their burgers are solid, and you know what? I think my decision's already been made. So what I was going to say is they have really good burgers, but they're not the best in comparison to others. But what they do have is the chicken strip basket. And I don't know if you guys have ever had their chicken strips dipped in their gravy with the toast. Whoo, that shit is fire. So that alone puts it in the good category in my personal opinion. And I like their ice cream. Their shakes are good. The cheesecake blizzard things that they have are amazing. Their flamethrower burger is really good. The rest of their burgers they're okay, but the chicken strip basket sold it for me. So congratulations, Dairy Queen. You're in the good category. We have Domino's Pizza. Man, this one is very prominent. If you're any of my personal friends, you know my love for Domino's Pizza. Corey, if you're watching this video, Omniarch, you guys both know how much I love my Domino's Pizza. Let's run through a couple of things real quick here. Their hand-tossed crust with the whatever they put on there, the seasoning and stuff. Oh my God, it's so good. I can eat that literally every day of the week. I can't express to you how good it is. On top of the fact that they have this cheesy bread that is magnificent. They have really good chicken, really good sandwiches, and they have the best processed chicken, I guess, out of any fast food restaurant I've ever ate at. So like, you know how most pizzas have like this cubed chicken that goes on it, or like Subway where you get like these fatty chunks in it every now and then? I have never had a piece of fat in any chicken on any pizza or anything that I've ordered from Domino's ever. That is a high selling point to me. The only downside to Domino's is their delivery takes forever and they are pretty expensive. Outside of that though, I like pretty much all of their pizzas. All of the food that they have is pretty great. I've never had a bad pizza from Domino's. And this is another one of those restaurants that I didn't really get to eat until I moved to West Virginia, because I only had this like one time when I lived in Nebraska. So Domino's though, because of my love for Domino's, it earns an amazing spot. Domino's is some top tier-ish. Love it. Now we have Hardee's. So I'm going to lump Hardee's in with the Carl's Jr. and there's like 3 different types of Hardee's variants out there. The breakfast, all of that. Their breakfast is the best part of their menu in my personal opinion, but even then it's not good. It's awful. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. I don't think Hardee's is good at all. Their breakfast is decent. I can eat it, but I wouldn't pick Hardee's breakfast over most other places. So I'm sorry, Hardee's, but you're not making it very far on this list. I just think you're pretty bad. Their burgers are very bland. Their chicken had a lot of fat in it a couple of times that I've had it, but I've also had instances where it was pretty good, but just it doesn't compete. I'm sorry. I just feel like your food is very cheap and gross. We have Arby's. Now, Arby's is another one of those restaurants where it's expensive, but it's got high quality food, and it never seems to do me wrong. The only downside aside from the cost, the only other downside about Arby's is the fact that it kind of lacks what I want a lot of the time. Like their roast beef sandwich, their classic roast beef sandwich is phenomenal. It's great. Their curly fries, really good. They have some good dessert items, but that's about it. They don't have a lot on their menu that I really like. I don't really want their chicken like ever. So Arby's does kind of lack a lot of things. I'm gonna put it in the meh category, but I do want it to be known that I really love their roast beef sandwich. The roast beef sandwich is really good, and they do have a few other things that come in and out of there that are good, but I'm just gonna put them in the meh category. Next up here, we have Buffalo Wild Wings. So this is another one of those restaurants that I've only had a few times. I think I've had it like 4 times now. 3, or actually all of the times I've had it have been since I've been in West Virginia. And they by far have the best wings that I've had from any restaurant. So their wings are really good, bone in or bone out. Absolutely love them. The flavors that they have are really good. I wouldn't say that the flavors are the best I've ever had, but the quality of the chicken is really good. And they're also really expensive. They've also got really, really good fried pickles, and they have really good onion rings as well as chicken wraps. So Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm gonna put you in the good category. You're in the good at almost amazing. You're like, I'm almost always down for Buffalo Wild Wings. The only thing that I don't like about it is the fact that it is a little bit more pricey. If it wasn't as expensive, I'd be more about it. Unfortunately, you're just a little bit too much. Next one here is Chipotle. Now, I think I've had Chipotle, I think 3 times maybe. And every time I've had Chipotle, it's been really good. It's never blown me away. It always feels like I'm kind of eating healthy. And it wasn't too crazy expensive. But it was never something that I was like, you know what, I have to have Chipotle, or I'm really looking forward to Chipotle. It was just kind of like, hey, I want Chipotle. It sounds good, and it's gonna fill me up. I think that Chipotle is gonna go in the meh category. Now, that's gonna come across to a lot of people as me dissing Chipotle. Let's get it straight. I'm not dissing Chipotle, but all I'm saying is if I had to pick out of any of these restaurants, and I was not concerned about my health in the moment, I was not concerned about my money in the moment necessarily, or options, Chipotle would be pretty low on the list, because the ones above that, you know, like Domino's is just some fire, Sonic is fire, like, so Chipotle is kind of like, if I'm trying to be a little bit healthy and I'm kind of wanting Hispanic fast food, which I usually don't, then Chipotle is the way to go. I like it, it's just not gonna be what I pick most of the time. The next one we have here is Chick-fil-A. Now this one, a lot of people say that it is overhyped, that it's not as good as people say it is. I completely disagree. I think that Chick-fil-A is magnificent. I think it is so good. Their chicken sandwiches, the only thing I don't like about it, and this, of course, this is coming from a fat guy, I think their portions are kind of small for what you get in a lot of cases. Not every case, like their sandwiches are decent sized, but they're like chicken nuggets, like they're tiny, but they're really good. Like it tastes like high quality, top-notch chicken in fast food form. Their spicy chicken sandwich is so good with the pickles, and oh my god, I could go on all day about it. Plus they have their Chick-fil-A sauce, like undisputed, it's definitely going to be in the amazing category. Chick-fil-A is fantastic, and I know that what I just did was very, very typical, like very generic, and you probably all expected that, but I can't help myself, man. Chick-fil-A is just some fire. Now we have McDonald's. Now McDonald's is going to be really difficult for me because I absolutely love their breakfast. I love their breakfast sandwiches. I like their coffee. Their entire breakfast menu is pretty amazing to me. Then it comes to their standard food, and I really only like McChickens on occasion. Their chicken nuggets are really good, and their fries. Everything else I really don't care about. I don't really want your meat. It not very good. It tastes very, very gross and fake. But their breakfast redeems them so much that if I was just going off of their daytime menu, no breakfast items, they would get probably a meh. But considering their breakfast, I think if I was going off breakfast alone, it would be amazing. But I think I'm going to put them in the good category. I think that's a fair place to put them. Probably closer to meh than amazing. But their breakfast definitely saved them from being in the meh category. Next up, we have none other than Firehouse Subs. I've had Firehouse Subs, I think 3 or 4 times. Once in West Virginia and I think twice in Florida. Firehouse Subs was pretty good, but I have to say, for the price that you're paying and the amount of food that you get, I don't think that it competes with other fast food restaurants that serve sandwiches, and it deserves to be in the not very good category. When I had it, I was, it filled me up, it tasted okay, but it wasn't amazing. It wasn't anything that special to me. I would get it again if it was the only option I really had, but I don't think overall, I just don't think it's very good. Next, we have Five Guys burgers and fries. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys know me well, you all know that I love Five Guys. Five Guys burgers are the best burgers out of any restaurant that I've ever had. I know that there's a great debate of Shake Shack and In-N-Out and all of that. I've never had those restaurants, but Five Guys I've had on multiple occasions, and I am absolutely in love with Five Guys. Super unhealthy, really expensive, but by far the best burgers that I've ever had. And that puts it in the amazing category in and of itself. I don't think that there's a burger out there that's better than Five Guys, and maybe someday if I'm on the West Coast, then I'll try In-N-Out, but as it stands right now, Five Guys is my premium top-notch burger. Next up, we have Burger King. Now, Burger King is very near and dear to my heart. I worked there for almost 2 years, or no, maybe I did work there for more than 2 years. I don't know, it was around 2 years. And most people, when you work at a fast food restaurant or any restaurant, by the time you're done working there, you don't want to touch their food ever again. You don't want to see it. You don't want to smell it. You don't want to be in the same car as someone else who craves it. But Burger King didn't do that to me. I still like Burger King. I know the ins and outs of their food. I know how to order it, get it the best way possible. I really like their way that their meat tastes. I have special orders that I like from Burger King. And I think that Burger King deserves to be in the good category off that alone. It honestly could almost fall into the amazing category, because you know what? Burger King is going to go in the amazing category. Burger King is really good because most of their chicken items are absolutely fire. All of their burger items are absolutely fire. Their fries are exceptional. They're not above and beyond, but they're good. Their coffee is good. Their breakfast items are good. They don't have very many things that are bad. And I know that a lot of people are probably going to hate on me for Burger King being amazing and McDonald's being just good. A lot of people, I think, prefer it the other way around. But I really like Burger King. Always have, always will. Burger King deserves to be in the amazing category. We have Little Caesars Pizza. So Little Caesars I've only had a handful of times, and every time I've had it, it wasn't very good. I mean, the pizza, it felt cheap because it's Little Caesars, but it didn't feel like it had any love, any passion. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to pizza, almost all pizza restaurants are made handmade. Like, I've seen how they make the pizzas at Domino's, and they're handmade. I worked at Pizza Hut, and I know that they're handmade. They're made with love, with actual work and emphasis. You have to take the time to make the pizza. It doesn't feel like Little Caesars gets that attention to detail. It almost feels like Little Caesars pizza is a slightly better frozen pizza in most cases, but that also makes sense as to why it's so cheap. So it's going to go in the not very good category. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's not even meh. It's just, it's Little Caesars. It's that thing that you see when you're craving pizza and you're on the road and you see a Little Caesars and you know, look, we can get some Little Caesars right now and we can keep driving and we're going to get pizza and we're not going to waste time by having to wait for a good pizza, and we'll just take the cheaper pizza at the okay taste. That's what Little Caesars is for. Now we have Long John Silver's. Now a lot of people might not even know what this is. Long John Silver's is a fast food fish restaurant. Now they do also have chicken, and they have really good coleslaw and hush puppies. They're also very greasy and oily, and they have fast food crab cakes, things that I don't want to see in fast food versions. Like, first of all, I think that their regular fish is pretty good for it being fish, and their chicken is actually pretty good, but it is over the top greasy and oily. So that alone, I think, is going to make it fall into one of these bottom two categories. I'm just trying to decide. I think it's going to go in the not very good category, but almost in the awful category. There are times where I'm like, you know what sounds really good? Some Long John Silver's chicken and coleslaw. There's never a time in my life where I'm sitting here thinking I want some Hardee's. So that sets the standard for awful and not very good. Occasionally I'll want this. I'll never want this. We have Subway. Now, Subway, I absolutely love Subway. I have two particular orders that I like to get when I go to Subway. I don't usually stray too far away from those two orders, but it's really good. I'm very rarely disappointed with it, although it can be a little bit more on the expensive side, which is the negative part about Subway. And it does kind of take a while to get your food, because for some reason the people who are making your sandwich just feel like it's necessary to have casual conversations with you when you're just trying to order your damn food and leave and go home and sit in your apartment by yourself and eat your food and watch your YouTube videos because you don't have a family and you don't have any friends. Next up, we have Pizza Hut. Now, I worked at Pizza Hut for a solid year, and Pizza Hut did make me not want to eat pizza anymore, or at least from there for a while. Their stuffed crust, though, is undisputably fantastic. Their wings are pretty good. Not the best, but they're pretty good. And the one thing that I think really saves if it was up to me right now, I would put Pizza Hut probably in the not very good to meh category. Yeah, I'd put it in the not very good but almost meh category. But recently, they have had something called the Cinnabon mini cinnamon rolls, and let me tell you, those are amazing. Those are so good, so good. And if you get a fresh Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza or a fresh pan crust pizza, it's amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the meh category because most of their food is just not the best, and I ate a lot of it and I'm tired of it. So that's just how that's gonna be. But them cinnamon rolls did redeem it a little bit. So it is gonna get put into that meh category. Now we have Taco John's. This is another one that a lot of people probably are not aware of. And Taco John's is basically, in my personal opinion, a higher quality version of Taco Bell in a lot of ways. I'm just not a huge fan of Mexican fast food. I never have been. So I'm honestly gonna have to put it in the not very good category, although it could pass for meh. They do have some decent chicken, like chunked cubed popcorn chicken, whatever you want to call it, dipped in their cheese. That's really good. Their potato olays are pretty good, but they're overly salty, and they have okay breakfast. But overall, each one of those categories, I would go someplace else for all of those. So to me personally, it belongs in the not very good category. I would pass on it most times, and it's really expensive. So, but overall, I think it's a higher quality Taco Bell. Speaking of which, we have Taco Bell. This one is going to get me a lot of hate, and I've never understood why people have so much love for Taco Bell, but I never want it. I never sit here and think, man, I want to go eat Taco Bell right now, or I could really use some Taco Bell. You know what I need? I need a chicken chalupa. I never think that. I never ever want it. I don't want their breakfast food. I don't want their lunch food. I don't want their regular menu food. I don't want any of that. It's not good, and it deserves to be in the awful category. I'm sorry. Grill me up. Call me names. Do whatever you want. But Taco Bell is really, really bad food. Like, it is some of the grossest meat I have ever had in my life. It is disgusting. Some of their chicken stuff's okay, but man, it's rough. Anyways, guys, that is my tier maker list for fast food restaurants. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button. Let me know of other categories you would like to see in video form down below in the comment section. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new, subscribe, hit the like button, and deuces.